Hi, I'm Robin.
And I'm Bill.
Welcome to Not the Retirement Show, third journey series. Today we're talking about Bill's favorite topic, the influence of psychomotivation. Bill, I think you better explain to everybody, what is that?
Well, it's one of my favorites, I must admit. I'd actually never heard that expression ever before. And it was a kind of a theory that I have had for many, many years. That, when we talk about motivation, there are any number of reasons why you would be motivated to do something. You have to go to work because that's the motivation so that you can buy things, buy the house or buy the groceries, whatever. So there is motivation. If something happens around the house and all of a sudden rain comes pouring through the windows or something like that, you're motivated to go and fix it. So there is motivation. But I would classify that more as sort of external motivation. In other words, it's something that's thrust upon you in order that you react, and therefore you're motivated to fix the issue or fix the problem. But I've always felt that there are things within your own mind that creates self-created motivation, if you want to call it as such. And I think as you get older, and particularly once you go into the so-called retirement years, I think there's a lot of things that go through the mind, perhaps because you've got more time to think about things. I don't know, but there are some things that go through your mind that say, I must do that, or I better do that. No, nobody's forcing you; just that you create that yourself.
Well, a mind is a beautiful thing to waste. And when you have too much time on your hands, your mind can go into hyperdrive, and it could go into hyperdrive positively or, unfortunately, negatively. So you could be creating great reasons for yourself to get out of bed in the morning and do things and get on with your life and have a very fulfilling experience. Or conversely, you could be creating all kinds of reasons not to get out of bed in the morning and get on with your life. Oh, I'm over 60. Oh, I'm over the hill. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, nobody needs my help anymore. Oh, the grandchildren are all grown up. That's what we're talking about. And that's the kind of psychomotivation you want to really check yourself if you find yourself going there.
Well, I think you're right when you're talking about, getting out of bed in the morning. If it's, some people are motivated to get out of bed in the morning because they want a cup of coffee. Well,
there's that.
Okay. That's fine. But I think the psychological motivation is that, for example, you talk about grandkids. I've got to take the grandkids to school, or I've got to make sure that the school uniform, has been, pressed or ironed, or whatever the word is, correctly. So that there's a reason to do that. But I think also, because you've got so much time in your hands, you've got to find things to do, or you probably want to do certain things, or find the time to do that. So there is that kind of psychological thing inside your own mind that says, I'm just going to get up and I'm just going to do it. Now, whether it means that you want to go hill trekking in the Himalayas or whatever sort of thing, that's a slightly different issue. But the notion of lying on the couch watching movies all day, that might be motivation for some people. I'm motivated to lie here all day. I'm not sure that's quite what we're talking about, but there's a reason to get up and get on with it, and it all comes from inside you, inside your mind. You reach a point when you have to say to yourself, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to get up. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do it. Whether it's going back to school, college, or, whatever it may be, or going out to volunteer because you just feel you want to do something like that. That's all built inside your own psyche. It's all built inside your own, psychological motivation that we talk about.
Now, we've been talking about going places and doing things and how psychomotivation can influence you. Bill, I want to change it up for a moment here. I want to ask you how psychomotivation plays a role in whether or not you take care of your health.
Oh, absolutely. I think that there is this inbuilt fear, probably grounded, that as we get older, the body starts to break down here, there, or everywhere, sort of thing. I think we kind of accept that. I mean, some people just say, you know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to accept. That's okay. But I think generally speaking, and certainly medically speaking, you know, we understand that. But we also realise that better health can be, you know, a goal, especially as we get older. Better health can be a goal that we have contribution to make, that we can help that. In other words, let's eat properly, let's exercise properly, whatever sort of thing. That in and of itself is psychological motivation to say, I would like to live longer, or I would like to live healthier, or I would like to live better. And I think there's a bit of a difference between living healthier and living better. I think sometimes we realize that maybe our health isn't so good, but we still want a better life. And while the two are somewhat connected, they are slightly different. So some people can sort of say, yeah, you know, I mean, I've got a problem, you know, my bones are not as supple as they used to be, etc. But that doesn't prevent me from doing what I want, and that's a better life. So yeah, there is connection between it. But you're absolutely right that the motivation to live longer, live better, in and of itself is that psychomotivation to eat well or exercise, whatever it may be.
I agree with you completely. For most of your later life, we may not have perfect bodies. We may not have the figure that we had when we were 25, but there's absolutely no reason why we can't be in better health, living a happier, healthier life than we have been at present.
But I also think that you know, psychomotivation applies to things like stress and depression and so on and so forth. I mean, we continually or perhaps regularly hear of older folks, me included, but you know, of older folks getting into a state of depression. Well, yeah, again, we can understand that. I mean, there may be some medical reasons for that. There may be some mental reasons or psychological reasons. We understand all that. But the psychomotivation is to say, I'm going to get over that. I'm going to go beyond that. I'm going to climb above that. And while I may have reason to be depressed, it doesn't necessarily mean to say that I'm going to be depressed. You fight it, you challenge it. It's an opportunity to improve. It's an opportunity to but that has to come from here. You know, I mean, unless there is some external third-party medical reason, which I understand, I get that, but it comes from here. Just say, you know what? I just ain't going to do that. I'm just going to get up and get on. Let's move, you know, just do it, basically, is what I guess what I'm saying.
Well, if you're still watching, we must have said something helpful. And don't forget, you can follow along by getting a copy of our book, The Third Journey, on Amazon. And we'll look forward to chatting with you again soon. Take care, everyone.